All right, Tommy, remember that healthcare.gov launch?
Yeah.
$500 million. They couldn't get people to sign up, and they said, oh, just be patient. Now we're a year later. Almost, I mean, what, $1 billion for a website? And he still can't tell us if the website's secure with all the personal info.
Well, the websites are so new so there's no perfection guaranteed in websites. And to me, it seems normal, that it would be delayed and that people would freak out on it,
Yeah.
But my thing about the whole Obamacare is that it's better than Bush's Obamacare.
What was Bush's Obamacare?
He never had one.
Well, a lot of people are saying that we shouldn't have touched the healthcare system at all just because of the launch of healthcare.gov and now with deductibles and premiums where they are, Harris. I mean, he couldn't even say whether or not the website's secure. And going back, I'd love to know what you think about Tavenner's threats. I mean, she seems like a get something done, take charge kind of woman. Why didn't she channel that into making sure the website was done correctly?
I haven't met this woman. That would be a question that I would ask her. But, Andrew, you're talking about this guy Park and why they want to have him on the Hill and why his opinion and his experience are so important. It is because he was the person who received sort of those kind of whistleblower emails from that then number two employee who said, look, this website is not ready. And when he said, are you sure? And I'm quoting, no, ... Hell no. I mean, it's a risk to go forward. They wanted to push it forward. So you're right. I would ask Tavenner, first of all, what were you thinking with that? You could have channeled some of that energy.
Why are we holding Tavenner responsible when Todd Park was their boss?
Yeah.
He was the chief involved in all of this. It was up to him to brief the White House on the progress of this White House. And he has since distanced himself from any of the problems that it had. And Tommy, I'm sorry, but the problem was that they didn't force the delay. Tavenner was saying essentially in emails that it should be delayed, and they went forward with it anyway. That was the problem. There were major risks in doing so, and that was detailed in emails.
Every kind of launch, there's a risk in all these launches.
There is, but Tommy, I'll say this. I think that the president and his team would have been derided, perhaps, for delaying the launch of it, and people who were opponents of the law would have rolled their eyes and said, yeah, I told you so. But it probably would have been safer because this is some of your most sacred information that you're putting on these websites. I mean, you're putting in there your most important health information, your Social Security stuff that you really don't want anyone else to see, that could be potentially embarrassing and that, might be easy to hack. The other thing is Tavenner looks almost exactly like Lois Lerner, with little Don Knotts thrown in, which is fine.
I would ask
and
her
also, she's a woman, and that's why she's being thrown under the bus by the Obama White House.
Well, where was the pressure coming from to get it online, even though that the risks had been made pretty clear? And that's what they're asking Todd Park on the Hill. That's what they want to know. Where was the pressure coming from? You've got employees telling you that it's not working, that it's not going to work. You've got the risk of putting personal information out there. Who was putting pressure to push it through anyway?
Everybody.
They, to get it up. They wanted to get it up. They didn't care about getting it right. They just wanted it up.
Yeah. And they wanted the perception that it was successful and seamless.
It's like everything. Just like the automobile industry. Look at all the recalls now. Everything's being recalled now because they found out that things aren't working. And that's with any industry. You want it out there. You want to get it going.
It's important to get it done right.
Yeah, get it started. But you can't get it perfect. You got to get it out there first. Then you see what's wrong with it. Then you fix it, and then you move forward.
All right. The White House is still trying to downplay Jonathan Gruber's role in creating Obamacare after he was caught on camera many times. You've seen it, admitting Democrats had to mislead what he called stupid Americans to make sure that the law passed. And now White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest is criticizing the GOP. Listen.
There are some Republicans, however, who do seek to sort of fan the flames of those old political arguments because they think it is politically advantageous for them to do so. My suspicion is that they do so because it's easier to talk about 6- and 8-year-old videos than it is to talk about how smoothly the opening of the second open enrollment period has gone so far, or to talk about the millions of people that have gotten health care as a result of the Affordable Care Act. All that stuff is pretty inconvenient for people who oppose the law to talk about. So it's easier for them to talk about these kinds of videos, and they're certainly welcome to do that. I don't think that there's a particularly large audience of the American people that's eager to have this discussion.
Jeez. But one Republican lawmaker says this is a pattern of the administration. Here's Congressman Sean Duffy of Wisconsin.
We're sat in the inner circle in the Oval Office with with Barack Obama, Harry Reid, Nancy Pelosi crafting the law, developing the lie and the misrepresentation. And the law is the lie is the law right now. And I think now that they're being exposed, they're trying to do the Jeremiah Wright, Bill Ayers. I didn't know him. He wasn't really in the inner circle. When we look at the law and we look at what Gruber said, they match up. There is no distinction between the lies that were told and the law that was written. And I think that's why this video is so powerful.
Harris, how can Josh Earnest just write this off and blame Republicans for what Gruber said about how stupid they are and how the law was set up? I mean, how can he do this?
Well, he can do whatever he wants at that lectern.
It's not credible.
He can say, but it's going to be hard for him. He can say whatever he wants about politics. Did you know that the universities are now starting to pull their videos from where Gruber has spoken? The University of Pennsylvania, October 2013, was where we first heard about the voter stupidity. They took down the video. Now they're being forced to put it back up. The URL division, the assistant communications director, is now opened an investigation into why these universities are taking these videos down of Jonathan Gruber. I find that fascinating. Josh Earnest can talk politics all he wants, but if the schools who hosted him, Jonathan Gruber, have a problem with what he said, and they're looking into it, what will they teach us?
You know what it teaches me is that it's very lucrative to be Jonathan Gruber. And what I will say to Josh Earnest, because he's going on all these speaking engagements, he's being paid by, at least 15 states. But I will say to Josh Earnest, don't lie about it. Be forthcoming. If the president is denying knowing Jonathan Gruber, if Pelosi is denying knowing him, and Josh Earnest as well, people are going to go back and look for those connections because they know that you not only quoted him, you dropped his name.
But Tommy, these videos, Josh Earnest tried to downplay it and say, for the GOP who wants to push these videos that are 6 and 8 years old. Well, they're not 6 and 8 years old to the American people, right? Because this is the first time the American people have been exposed to the words of Jonathan Gruber.
But to me, it's just another attack on Obamacare from another angle. It sounds like Benghazi all over again.
Well, no, it's an attack on the American people for how, quote, stupid we are. I mean, you have an Obama advisor who basically said they capitalized on the stupidity of the American voter to get it done. I mean, hold on. I want to play a clip from Jon Stewart. Because Jon Stewart, who we all know and love, has decided to take Gruber and Pelosi and the Democrats to task for this. Let's take a listen and get Tommy to respond.
I think the Democrats can now come clean about how the bill was sold and Mr. Gruber's involvement in that process. Or
we have the news here in the past few days about some of the comments made by Mr. Gruber.
I don't know who he is.
can you ever not disappoint us?
All right, so whether you like Obamacare or not, Tommy, you have to admit, it's not good to lie and deny that you know somebody when there's footage and tape of you claiming to know him.
Did I remember a guy named, Mitt Romney said something about 47%?
Stay on topic, Tommy. Stay with this issue.
I'm sorry.
Is it okay to lie and get away with it like they're trying to do?
It's called politics. Of course. Of course.
We can't play politics.
It's not okay to
American
lie.
politics are based on lying.
And I understand, because I was one of those people who couldn't get insurance for over a year because of a pre-existing condition. I was really frustrated with the health insurance this company, and I was one of those people that knew we needed to change. The problem with Obamacare, and my parents are Democrats. Like they look at this stuff, and even they're disgusted by it. And they're at the age where they can now take Medicare. But Obamacare, if you look at all the attacks, it's not just political. And it's not okay to play politics with people's basic health. It's not okay, especially for people who really need it. And the people who most need it, the problem is they're not being served by the health care law. And if it's being attacked from so many sides, maybe there's something
But there is
really
a law.
with
There
it.
is a law that we're talking about, we're fighting about, that did not exist with the other administration.
I understand that, and perhaps there needed to be, but this is not the best fix.
No, I agree. Totally agree. Totally agree with that.
I want to bring you in on what you said earlier, where Josh Earnest tried to dismiss this as this is old news, which they've done before with other things. To your point, though, this isn't old news. We haven't seen these videos. This is what people suspected would happen, that was happening behind the scenes, and now we have it confirmed from a key advisor. Why can't they just own up to it?
Well, and I think that it deserves to be asked an open-ended question, just why do you think that Jonathan Gruber said that this administration preyed on the stupidity of the American people to pass this health care law? Because otherwise it wouldn't have passed, is the assumption, correct?
And Gruber was brought in to woo Democrats as well, Tommy.
I think that you have to define what stupidity means, you know. If you are opposing universal health care based on rumors and lies, then that is a stupid way to be. You know, so let's define what part of the stupidity he's talking about.
Mm-hmm. I would love to hear from him directly.
Wouldn't we all?
Tommy, I cannot wait. Let's hear from him directly. Explain it on Capitol Hill under oath.
Yes.
Okay, is America really the land of the free? The shocking new numbers showing how far the United States has fallen behind other countries when it comes to how we feel about our personal freedoms. Also, women who think that their kids are holding them back in their careers may be wrong. Stunning new findings about who might really be to blame. And right after the couch, catch